So a thriving craft beer industry is excellent for Frederick County. It brings tourists to Frederick. The more we have, the more breweries we have, the more people come to Frederick. We used to think that more competition was actually bad, but it's not. More competition is good because people come and they stay for a weekend. They visit several breweries in a day and make a day trip out of it.
You know, we have people coming from all over the place, and they're coming not just, by random chance coming through, they're deliberately coming here. So I think it's helpful to the city in terms of, tourism and of course, tax base.
We give back to the community. We do fundraisers, we do drives to give back to the community, try to do as much as we can on an annual basis.
Overall, we've seen over 150% growth in the last 5 years between the wineries, breweries, distilleries. So it was really booming before COVID hit back in March of 2020. We had 12 craft breweries and 5 farm breweries. And then there's also some that are in the pipeline that are still opening even with what we're experiencing today.
By the time we opened up, we were right in the thick of it. Thankfully, they were past the point of having a complete shutdown. But, we're still only at 50% capacity indoors. So that's one of the limitations that we're dealing with.
So the craft beer industry has really been under the same guidelines and requirements that our restaurants and food service industry has been here in Frederick County.
We had to shut down for a period of time where we could only do to-go sales, and we had to have 50% less capacity in our whole building, and we had to space the seats apart big time, which sometimes would put us at less than 50% capacity. So been managing and trying to deal with less people, less customers for the past year.
Some of them have also taken the steps to close their tasting room indoors, and they are only allowing people outdoors for the safety of their staff, and then also closing during the winter months because obviously people are not sitting outside as much. And so with reduced capacity, they've had to get creative in how they do business. A new app has started up called Beer Me, and so a lot of our craft beer industry has participated in that delivers beer right to people's doorstep in Frederick County. So that's been a huge win for people who want to try local products.
We jumped on the bandwagon of doing beer deliveries. We have taken opportunities that we can go to different outdoor events and sell beer there and try to be socially distanced and just moving and hustling out in the scene a little bit more than we probably would have.
One thing that the state afforded us was the ability to sell kegs. So previously there was a limit of 288 ounces that we could sell for to-go, which is a case of beer. And a keg of beer is a whole lot more than that. So they lifted that restriction. It'd be nice if after COVID is done that they allow us to continue to do that, because we've had a number of customers that buy kegs, they have a kegerator at home, and I think that's a good option.
Since the pandemic began, we have really been trying to help our business community as a whole through different grants, whether they're federal grants or state grants, and get money out to our businesses because we know they're struggling. So the craft beverage industry has been one of the industries we've really targeted.
We've taken advantage of a few grants and loan programs that are out there to help small business like myself. PPP loan, Economic Disaster Relief Fund, some grants from the city and the county as well.
So there was one grant specifically for outdoor heating, and so we got one of those grants, and it provides funding for the propane heaters and the propane itself. There's been some offsetting things that have helped in terms of providing additional outdoor seating. The city had various options, and one of them was called parklets. They put up jersey walls, and we were able to put a number of tables out there, which during warmer weather, those are full. And then of course they gave us temporary permission to put seating out along Carroll Creek.
So I would say the industry as a whole has just really done what works for each business. What works for one brewery doesn't work for the other, but as a whole they've gotten very creative. To find local breweries in your area, visit homegrownfrederick.com, and you can search for breweries that are near you or throughout the county.